Imagine a world where computers don't just follow instructions, they think, create, and innovate. That world is no longer in the future, it's happening right now and is driven by generative AI. We live in an era where Gen AI can generate text, images, and even code without human intervention. It's more than just a tool, it's a force reshaping entire industries, from healthcare to finance. In fact, the Gen AI market is projected to reach $1 trillion by 2032, generating significant growth, efficiency, and profit. Companies leveraging Gen AI are seeing dramatic increases in innovation, efficiency, and scalability. What happens when Gen AI is more than just an assistant, but an active decision maker? How do we ensure security, ethical use, and innovation coexist? And more importantly, how do we ensure that people are at the center, at the heart of this transformation? My name is Jeremy Segura, and I'm an MBA student at ULACIT. And today I invite you to join me as we explore my investigation project called Governance and Assurance Frameworks for Generative AI Adoption in Shared Service Centers, a Costa Rican perspective. As I said at the beginning, generative AI is reshaping entire industries, is driving efficiency and creativity. But with great power comes great responsibility. The key question is, how can shared service centers leverage Gen AI while maintaining security, compliance, and most importantly, employee engagement? This research explores governance models and assurance framework in shared service centers across Costa Rica. The hypothesis states that rigid controls, excessive requirements, and heavy supervision is killing the Gen AI adoption. It's actually generating fear, hesitation, which leads to low levels of engagement and low levels of adoption. As part of the research objectives, we aim to first assess the maturity of Gen AI governance models in Costa Rica shared service centers. Second, we want to analyze how rigid governance hinders Gen AI adoption. Third, we want to define the key elements of a people-centric governance model that balances risk management with employee engagement. And last, we want to identify the best practices for implementing such models. The ultimate goal is to find the right balance between governance and innovation, ensuring Gen AI is not just controlled, but enabled in a way that fosters trust, adaptability, and scalability. My study involved 101 employees from different shared service centers and interviews with two senior industry leaders. What I found may surprise you. First, less than 30% of shared service centers have fully adopted Gen AI, despite its clear benefits. On the other hand, 70% lack a formal governance framework, leading to confusion, security risk, and fear of using Gen AI. And third, 64% of employees don't receive basic training or Gen AI training at all, making adoption slow and ineffective. Essentially, companies are investing in AI but are failing to empower their workforce to actually use it effectively. Also, the data reveals the top challenges in Gen AI adoption, which are: first, lack of expertise in 56% of the cases. Second, data security and ethical concerns with 51% of the cases. And third, limited understanding of the true Gen AI potential in 37% of the cases. The biggest insight here: the adoption of Gen AI is not just about access to the technology, but about bridging critical gaps in expertise, security, and training. With over half of organizations struggling with lack of AI expertise and ethical concerns, the focus should change towards upskilling talent, improving the governance frameworks, and fostering a clearer understanding of Gen AI true potential. On the other hand, the most important correlation in my research reveals a strong connection between training and learning resources and successful Gen AI governance models with a 0.76 correlation score. The second correlation, highest correlation, is governance models and Gen AI adoption maturity with 64 correlation with 0.64 correlation score. This means that the more organizations invest in training and education, the better they integrate Gen AI into their business operations, and the strong governance models drive better training and higher adoption rates. In summary, the data confirms that traditional governance models focus too much on risk, too much on heavy requirements, too many requirements, and this is creating a culture of fear rather than innovation. Heavy control and risk management is slowing down Gen AI adoption. This leads to low people engagement, fear of using AI, misuse opportunities for innovation. Employees worry about using AI incorrectly, so they avoid it altogether. My research proposes a people-centric Gen AI governance model, balancing risk management with employee empowerment, ensuring Gen AI adoption is both secure and scalable. What does this mean? It means changing from Gen AI control to Gen AI enablement. Instead of just setting restrictions, governance should empower employees to use Gen AI safely, ethically, and effectively. A people-centric governance model prioritizes ethical use and security through structured training and mentoring. Also encourages experimentation in safe environments, removing fear and resistance. And third, balances security with a culture of trust and empowerment. In other words, security should be an enabler, not a barrier. The question is, how do we achieve this? First, transparent security and risk management is key. Employees need clarity, not just rules. They must understand why policies exist and how Gen AI governance actually benefits. Comprehensive Gen AI training. Imagine every employee having access to mentorship programs, hands-on workshops, and Gen AI practice environments. It would be huge. Clear usage guidelines. Instead of just restrictions, employees should understand how they can use Gen AI effectively. Also, continuous feedback and adaptation. Gen AI governance should evolve based on real-world usage and employee feedback. And last, Gen AI experimentation spaces. What if companies had a Gen AI sandbox, environments where employees could safely test Gen AI applications? By humanizing Gen AI governance, shared service centers can scale Gen AI adoption successfully while ensuring security and compliance. The stakes are high. If we get this wrong, employees won't trust Gen AI. Companies will miss out on efficiency and innovation, and Gen AI adoption will be fragmented and full of compliance roadblocks. But if we embrace people-centric governance, Gen AI will become an enabler of innovation, not a source of fear. Also, employees will trust and engage with Gen AI tools. And last, organizations will be very successful in the Gen AI-driven future. Today, we stand at a crossroads. We can either let fear and excessive control slow us down, or we can embrace Gen AI with a governance model that empowers employees, encourages innovation, and ensures compliance. Costa Rica is home to over 70,000 shared service centers employees. If our companies lead in a people-centric Gen AI governance, we can enhance Gen AI-driven business operations, ensure employees and companies grow together with AI, and attract more multinational investments. Essentially, Gen AI is not just about technology, it's about people. As we move forward, the question is not whether to adopt Gen AI or not, but how can we do it responsibly, efficiently, and successfully? If we want Gen AI to succeed in shared services, we need to stop treating governance as a barrier, make it an enabler. We need to invest more in training, education, mentorship, and experimentation. People need confidence, not just policies. And third, create governance models that balance security with people enablement. AI should be a tool for growth, not fear. The companies that get this balance right will lead the Gen AI revolution. The question is, will your company be one of them? The future of Gen AI governance isn't just something to anticipate, it's something we must actively shape. The choices we make today will determine whether Gen AI serves as a force for progress or a source of risk. It's time to build a governance model that is secure, structured, and above all, people centric. Let's not just adapt to this revolution, let's lead it. Thank you.